morning. How are we? Ready for a good day? Hey, we have the super full moon and the total lunar eclipse today. So make sure you ground yourselves. Been banging on about this all week. Make sure you ground yourselves. Stay away from everyone else's tetchy energy if that's how you feel. Be mindful of your own tetchy energy. Remember, eclipses is where anything and everything and anything can happen. So yeah, sudden cathartic change, that's what it can mean. It can also bring things to light, yeah? Things that have been hidden for a little while, that may surface. That's like our own internal shit and stuff out in our environment too, that maybe needs to go, that we don't need anymore. Okay, let's have a look at the energy for today. What is it that would help us navigate the energy of today? Let's see what this might be. What might it be? Oh, okay. Hang on, didn't quite flick over, so let's see. What might it be? Might be a day of choosing again. We get to choose our own. It might be. Some days they fly out and some days they don't. Some days they're chatty, some days they're not, but here we go. We have the King of Cups. Okay, so the King of Cups is a man, like cups are about emotion, right? So the kings can represent men, but they don't always. They can represent women, but they don't always. They can just represent like a situation, like the personality trait of the person rather than the actual person themselves. So this guy, when we look at him, he sits on his throne, and his throne is like sitting on top of that water, so he's like surfacing. So for some people, they're going to be surfacing the emotions today, or surfing the emotions. So surfing means that they'll ride that wave, right? Surfacing means they don't want to look at it, just want to go across the top of it, when in actual fact they're feeling things very deeply if they just allowed that to happen. So I feel like today might be a bit of an emotional day for us. In regard to what I'm seeing here now, I'm drawn to the ship. Now the ship, so I'll show you in a second, is in the background here. See the French ship there? Okay, so when we look at the cards and we think about metaphors with ships, you know, the ship sailing home, that type of thing. So I actually feel like it's in for a bit of a rough ride, I think. Okay, so emotionally we might be in for a bit of a rough ride, so set your sails when you need to set them, pull them in when you need to pull them in. Ride with the elements, if you will, is what I would say about that. Might be a bit of a rough ride for today. So ground. Allow the emotions to flow as they come up. That's anger visiting me. What's anger's message? You know, that's sadness visiting me today. What's sadness's message? And then just let them go on. Just, you know, don't have to sit with them all day, but just acknowledge them. That's interesting, because your feelings aren't wrong, they're just feelings, right? But just acknowledge them and then let them move on. They don't need to visit us all day. Don't need to stay there all day. And if someone else is behaving poorly or whatever, just, maybe they're struggling with the depths of the emotion that they're feeling, or maybe they're just having a bad, shitty day. Leave them be. Leave them be. Walk away, is what I would say. Now, what else am I drawn to here? Drawn to the blue on this guy's tunic or his robe, whatever you want to call it, dress. Yeah, so to me that's blue. Blue is how we communicate, because that's our throat chakra. So it's talking about that. Can also be feeling blue, feeling a bit down. So when you express yourself today, be mindful how you're expressing yourself in that regard, is what I would say. But overall, just ground yourself today if you're feeling a little bit out of sorts, or emotions are too big. And if emotions are too big, just stop and breathe. Reconnect back to your breath. Your breath is everything. It can take you from one state to another. So choose your state and use your breath to get you there. That's what I'd say about today, guys. Have an awesome day, and I will catch you next time. Big love.